Welcome, Walnut. I'm Lara, but you can call me Lazz, your host for Walnut Wednesday. This is your reminder to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world a better place just by what you decide today. Here, I'm going to share my weekly walnuttings with you on a Wednesday.
Good morning, Walnut. It is me, Lazz, here for another episode of Walnut Wednesday. I apologise for the whisperish tone in my voice. We're at 4:45 a.m. in the Walnut household today. I just wanted to record this episode because this is something that's come up a lot in my vortex lately, so I felt really called to share. So if you are encouraged by this episode or further discussion on this episode, let me know so that we can further the discussion in the group and chat about it more, because I'd love to know your opinion on it as well, and if it's been coming up for you. But basically, Walnut, a lot of people that I've been talking to recently, and I've seen on a couple of like my friends' stories and stuff like that, is boundaries. I've been getting quite an influx of, this is a side note, I'm getting quite an influx of like junk mail, and Geordie's been getting lots of spammy texts and stuff. I wonder if it's the time of year or I don't know, but I was discussing with a few friends of mine. They've been getting in my mastermind that I'm in, they've been getting we were talking about icky DMs, and one of my friends was in there asking for advice, like, I've worked with them before, it just doesn't feel very good, and they're all up in my hey girlfriend BFFs, and she says it's just felt icky, and I could just tell that it's like, what do you want from me, or trying to get something, and just that's not sleazy car salesman because they haven't sold anything, but that feeling of that ick what was coming up. And so anyway, she was asking our group for advice, and short stories were shared and all the things, and I just said how I just block. I have turned into Lazz the Savage, because now I just either block or like really politely decline, which doesn't sound as brave to some people, because some walnuts are much better at confrontation than I am. But to say to somebody, hey, thanks for your offer, but I decline, and basically like, I don't want to talk about it anymore, I don't want to share anything, why do you keep asking me, is like quite a turn in responses that I used to give out. I used to feel really bad, and now I'm like, block, savage. So I just wanted to use that as an example. Another example that came up sort of in relation to this boundary thing was a friend of mine posted, she's a coach as well, posted about nasty comment, and you'll remember, Walnut, back when I had my first hater comment and it was something about, you need to lose some weight, you're gross or something, and I recently had one of those on, I think it was Instagram or TikTok, maybe, whatever. And again, I just she's put on her story that she got this comment, and then she said in the next slide that she's deleted it, doesn't want to put her energy in it, it's not on her vibe. And same with me. When I recently got one, I just blocked and deleted, and that was that. And I remember when I got my first comments that are like that, it really, really upset me, because it made me think of all the people that haven't done any walnut work, haven't done any personal developer work, and that comments like this could be truly detrimental, or even with like the icky DMs who could get like, I mean, maybe it's a vibe for them. Obviously, like different people work with for different things and stuff like that. Different things different people we choose to work with that just click. But it's also like that. It's also like, oh, how many people are just getting taken for a ride with this? Or if it's a nasty comment, how many people are like getting really upset, even like going as far as, I'm all about like the talking about the I'm trying to say it without saying it. It's too early in the morning, but I'll just say it, like suicide prevention and stuff, nasty comments like that can really like fuck someone up. So it would really, really upsets me for the people that, like I say, haven't done the Walnut work, because you can hold on to that for so long. I've still got comments in my head from when I was young where like my grandma said that I was fat or something, let alone a stranger. So that's kind of come up as well. And what I think is really different now is how much I've changed in my response to this, and not giving any energy, but I do think it is important to share it, because it makes it more normal to respond in a savage way, if that makes any sense. So I've had another couple comments like that, and I've shared on my story or with you here or in the Walnut Tree, because I want to normalize boundaries and boundary setting, and who lets speak to you and in what way. So I thought that was really great that she shared it, and I responded and I commented on her thing straight away, and I was like, thank you so much for sharing this, because I actually believe from the bottom of my little black heart that that sharing those things are really important. So I'd love to know your point of view on that, Walnut. Another thing in relation to this as well is in my group, the Walnut Tree on Facebook. So if you're not a member already, feel free to join. But I will say you need to answer the questions, because if you don't answer the questions, I will decline you. I decline people who don't answer the questions, because I want people to feel like, I want it to be an intentional joining of the group. I want my group to remain a sacred, safe, and delicious space, because in it, as you know if you're already in, there's a lot of personal and vulnerable shares going on in there. So I don't want any bloody nosy neighbor, nosy Sally Poo, having a look inside and not contributing, And I've actually made it quite a thing. And again, I was talking to my mastermind, because they were talking about their Facebook groups and stuff. For me, it's never been about the numbers. I think I kind of like was on 100 and something members, and I'm down to like under 110, because I actively and consistently go in and delete people who are not contributing, because I've got people in there from like Walnut Fest, which is 2 years ago now, and it's just stagnant energy, and I don't need that in my group. I don't need it just for it to be a number. And I think it's really important to keep that clear and consistent. So I celebrate the people. Well, it's not regular, but it's when I can be bothered. So it's probably about every month or so, or at least every other month, that I go in and I'll remove names that I don't recognize, that I haven't seen pop up anywhere. I think there is a feature we can see how many likes or comments and engagements they've had, but I don't really click into that. I just kind of feel into it a little bit more, and it sounds really savage, but it's not, because it's not coming from a bitchy place. It's coming from are you actually utilizing the space for what it's here for and what it's intended for? So I shared that, and the girls in my group were sort of saying like, oh, yep, I'm going to start doing that. And I said how I think it's really important to celebrate those that are contributing, just to make it a little bit more fun, but also like it's nice to get a shout out, you know. So they were like, I'm going to start doing this, which was like, oh, inspirational. And on that note, Walnut, I just wanted to share that that my group, how Savage Lazz just actively continues to remove members. It's not just like, oh, you were meant to be. Not that anyone in the group's mean to me. It's not just like that. It's literally like, I have not seen you pop up at all on a video or do a post or celebrate in the celebration thread. Like, I haven't seen you and you joined 2 years ago. Why are we? Why am I holding this? I don't need to hold this space for that, you know? And it's not also for me holding the space, Walnut, it's for you, because I want you to feel encouraged to share. I want you to feel empowered to share. I want you to feel safe to be in the walnut tree. And I remember when it was really new, I was like, I know everybody in my group. I don't let in people who I don't know or whatever. And then we had Walnut Fest and it got a bit bigger because we had some guests from, you know, we're guest speakers. So a lot of their audiences came in. So it didn't get to be me knowing everybody in the group anymore. Now I've gotten to know some walnuts too, which has been really nice from that. But yeah, there are just some stagnant who came for something and then just not left and stayed and weren't active and weren't getting notifications. And yeah, so I hope that makes sense. But one really cool thing that I wanted to celebrate with you, Walnut, was that my friend messaged me over the weekend and was like, Lazz, I just need to celebrate you because I'm in this mastermind with all these people, and the main coach, who Walnut I absolutely love and adore, and I've worked with her lots and lots and lots and lots, and she shared all through the walnut tree and all the things, but she actually used that I remove my members as an example for boundaries and clear energies. Like what? Like, I am at the party with the big dogs. Like, she knows my name. Six figure million, lots of money, well-known ladies who sell programs for like $5 million, not $5 million, but you know, are using the walnut tree, are using me, the little Lazz the savage, as an example for boundaries. Like, it's so funny, Walnut, because little Peanut Lazz was so non-confrontational that the boundary level was low, as we know. Episode 2 is called Saying No. Episode 2 of the podcast, Saying No. Big deal when I said no for the first time and didn't feel bad about it. So it's not necessarily that this episode is a walnut, but it's actually just a testament again to how far I'm coming, and I'm noticing like how these things keep popping up and how much work I've done. And I'm saying quote unquote Lazz the savage, but it's not savage at all. I'm just growing into my boundaries that I have continued to set for myself, and now they are being exemplified. Now they are examples in Big Boss Bish's groups. Like, how is that? Oh my gosh, my fridge just stopped making noises and now I feel like I'm talking much louder. So celebrate that with me, Walnut, because that was quite a wonderful thing to hear that, and so I'm really happy that she shared that with me too. But yeah, so the boundary thing and the feeling like a savage, but it's I say like savage in a not a bish way, even though past Lazz would have been like, oh my god, mean, nasty, you're a savage, but now it's like more of like a warrior woman savage, more of a like a I have a boundary and you can't fuck with me. Like, I'm not a doormat. Your meanness doesn't hurt me if it's like a mean comment. You notice that most of these mean comment pages, like you go on them and they don't have any followers or something, they're just literally created for pure nasty vibes. So it's like, you don't need to pay any attention to that. And some people just say things, it's just really interesting. But yeah, my thought and like my friend is and what she did was just didn't give it any second thought. And I hope, Walnut, by sharing this, that's sort of the approach that you take as well. But yeah, that's all I wanted to share this week, Walnut. So I'd love your input on this. I'd love to know, yeah, your thoughts and how this kind of makes you feel and if you've sort of done similar things. But yeah, the link is in the show notes if you want to join the Walnut Tree, or if you want to buy my book or work with me on any of these things. I've got a couple workshops that you can buy as well, one on being a tasty, delicious snack and another one on celebrations. And I'm thinking about doing something on boundaries as well soon, just because I think it's something that I have like literally worked for a few years on. 2 years if you count like, you know, the Walnut journey, 2.5 years, but it's been something in my mind for a little while. So yeah, let me know if that would be something of interest to you as well. But have a happy Walnut Wednesday. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. And if you enjoyed this episode, give it a little share and tag me on the socials. I'm at Walnut Wednesday, just so I know that you're listening and that you're here with me. But would love your opinion, and further discussion is welcome inside the Walnut Tree as well. So again, sorry. Happy Walnut Wednesday. You are beautiful, you are sexy, and you are delicious. And I will talk to you really soon. Bye.